Wayne just talked about the reactive cycle and how you have buttons that get pushed and you have reactions that go off in you from that. And it all goes back to those wants or longings, desires that each of you have in your marriage that become unmet. So we want to take a look at what is actually going on. See, it's too easy for me to be focused on what David is doing. An example of this is when he's busy on his phone and he's getting text messages and calls coming in the evening, and all I'm wanting is some time with him. I get a button pushed. I feel unimportant. And when I feel unimportant, I react with complaining, either out loud or even in my head. You don't care. Why can't you just get off your phone? You never take time. You're always busy and on your phone. And when that happens, I am so focused on what he's doing, I'm actually saying that he is the problem. Instead of focusing on the outward of what's going on, because that is never going to get anything fixed. We want to focus on the inward, shift it to the inward. When you're in conflict with your spouse, you are both saying words that are actually shredding each other's hearts. It's like I've got a sword and I'm piercing David's heart and he's piercing mine. And we're shredding each other's hearts. And instead of focusing on what my spouse is doing, because I have no power over what he's doing, I can't change what he does. Instead of focusing on the outward, I'm going to focus on the inward. What's going on in my heart? This is where the juice is. This is where the whole source of the problem is. I have now been wounded and my heart needs care. It needs attention. Because this heart of mine is very valuable, but very vulnerable. And these buttons that have been pushed in me, as Wayne mentioned before, are wounds, and they need attention and care. So we want to take a look today at what does care look like? And we do through something very important called the care cycle. Care cycle has 5 steps to it. And they're powerful, but very simple steps. So we start with aware of my feelings, aware that I'm feeling something, moving to accept. I accept that I'm feeling something and I'm not ignoring it, I'm attending to it. I accept it. And I accept the job, my heart, my job. Thirdly, I move to allowing someone to help me. You can allow God if you wish, or you can allow a trusted other. Invite someone who cares to care with you. Then we move to attend, asking myself a series of questions that help me identify what I'm feeling so that I can feel cared for and to know how to respond. Lastly is act. How can I act with integrity that will give me the best chance to get what I want? That's the care cycle. It's powerful and very simple. Step 1, aware. I want to become aware of the feelings that I'm feeling. And the amazing thing about this is that God has actually put an early warning system within me. It's a way He's given us as people to know that we're feeling something very important. Something important is going off in my heart, actually. And so He's created a way that my body responds to those feelings. It may, for me, look like butterflies in the stomach, or tension in my neck, or my heart starts to pound. For some people, it's their thoughts start racing, and for others, their toe taps or their fingers are tapping, whatever it is. There's so many different responses. So what I'm doing is I want to invite you to become aware of what you're feeling when your body is responding to your emotional feelings. Step 2, accept. Now this might seem like a funny step, but I don't know about you, but what do you do when you have a difficult feeling? When you're feeling something uncomfortable, or you've had a button pushed and you're feeling disrespected or unimportant? For me, my history is I want to push that feeling down, I want to get it aside, I want to do anything to get rid of it. Notice, are any of those things accept? So we invite you to accept the feeling, to sit with it, to acknowledge it, to realize that I'm feeling something that is really difficult. I may not know what the name of the feeling is, but I know I'm feeling something vital, important here. So I want to accept the feeling, but also I want to accept the job. Remember, I'm responsible for me. And so we say, my heart is my job. And so I take responsibility for what I'm feeling and for the care that my heart needs. So accept the feeling and accept the job. Step 3 is allow. Now here we can allow 2 different people to be a part of our self-care. First, we would invite you to invite God or allow Him to be a part of your self-care. The person, the Lord of all, who knows your heart, knows exactly how you're created, knows the intricate parts of it and what you're feeling, has the answer. So I want to invite Him into my self-care. And it can go something like this, just simply saying, God, help me, or here I go again, or Lord, you know where we're at. Can you join me here? And you know what? There have been moments where I have done just up to this point and have felt just peace come. Those moments of anxiety in the middle of the night, absolute peace. Then, if I want to, I can invite a trusted other. And this trusted other could be a friend, it could be a counselor, a pastor, someone you trust. But the only key point is that it's somebody who actually loves and supports both you and your spouse. Someone who will challenge you on things if you're not thinking or seeing it correctly. And someone who will really care. The key also to this, or one caution, is that don't bring your kids in. They can't be the trusted other. When kids hear about their parents' struggles, their marriage struggles, you actually transfer your anxiety to them, and they just don't have the capabilities to carry that kind of weight. So invite a trusted other, allow the Lord to be a part of your caring. Step 4, attend. This is a series of questions that I ask myself and answer for myself. And I begin with this: what am I feeling? So here I identify and name the feeling that I'm feeling. And I may feel unimportant, or whatever the feeling is that you feel. Put a name to it. Secondly, is it familiar? How often do I feel this? I feel it every day? Do I feel it multiple times a day? I just answer my question. And perhaps at times I want to evaluate, is this something that I feel just in my marriage, or did this begin in my childhood like many of our triggers or buttons do? Next, am I doing anything to amplify this feeling or turn up the volume, we say? And the ways we do this is we may replay things in our head, the situation, the fight. I may ruminate and start self-criticism or criticism of David in my head. Can't believe that guy, he never listens to me. He's always on his phone. All these things do is make this feeling grow bigger. So I want to identify how I'm doing that. Next, what is the truth? Small t truth, what are the facts? How did I get this button pushed? How did it start? Big T truth, what does God say about me? I can bring to Him, Lord, am I unimportant? And I can wait and hear Him speak to me, or I may remind myself of what His Word says, and He can say, you're my child, you're important to me, I love you, I'm with you, I died for you. That's important. Lastly, what do I want? Boy, I want connection with David. I want partnership. And the key to finding what I want may be your wants on your reactive cycle. Things that you want, those lists of words, partnership, intimacy. I wonder what you want. Those are 5 questions that I use. You have the freedom to create your own. Make this your care cycle. Step 5 is to act. Act is all about taking that what I want question and moving it into action. So here, the key is to act with integrity. And acting with integrity is all about that B-list person that Wayne referred to earlier. I act in order to re-engage with my spouse, or I may actually need some more self-care, but the purpose is still for that re-engagement. The self-care itself is all about caring for me so I can be the person I long to be in my marriage. These 5 simple but powerful steps are a beautiful way to care for your heart and to create a place where you feel cared for and safe. Below, you can see a link where you can click on that and find your own care cycle so that you can have it with you, or take a picture of it so that you're ready for your own care when needed.